So just what is a Jew? The formation of groups has an invigorating effect. An invigorating effect in all spheres of human striving, perhaps mostly due to the struggle between the convictions and aims represented by the different groups. The Jews, too, formed such a group with a definite characteristic of its own. And anti-Semitism is nothing but the antagonistic attitude produced in the non-Jews by the Jewish group. This is a normal social reaction, but for the political abuse resulting from it, it might never have been designated by a special name. What are the characteristics of the Jewish group? What, in the first place, is a Jew? There are no quick answers to this question. The most obvious answer would be the following. A Jew is a person professing the Jewish faith. The superficial character of this answer is easily recognized by means of a simple parallel. Let us ask the question, what is a snail? An answer similar in kind to the one given above might be a snail is an animal inhabiting. A snail is an animal inhabiting a snail shell. The answer is not altogether incorrect, nor to be sure is it exhaustive, for the snail shell happens to be but one of the material products of the snail. Similarly, the Jewish faith is but one of the characteristic products of the Jewish community. It is furthermore known that a snail can shed its shell without thereby ceasing to be a snail. A snail can shed its shell without thereby ceasing to be a snail. It's what they call that escargot, right? That's a slug. The Jew who abandons his faith in the formal sense of the word is in a similar position. He still remains a Jew. Now that's interesting, right? So a Jewish person isn't just a religious person. You don't just adhere to the Judaistic faith, the Judaism, but you're also, there's something more to being Judaism. You're part of a people. You're part of a culture. It's a part of a bloodline. Your mother's a Jew or something. I'm not for sure, but according to Albert Einstein, a German Jew, the Jew who abandons his faith in the formal sense of the word is in a similar position as the snail who sheds its shell. A snail who sheds its shell doesn't cease to be a snail, just like the Jew who sheds his Judaism doesn't cease to be a Jew. Difficulties of this kind appear whenever one seeks to explain the essential character of a group. Okay, so you're Jewish, what does that mean? There's some Jewish people in Germany that had felt like, okay, yeah, we are Jewish, but we're also German. We've been here for 400 years. So, it's like you're making us pick one of our identities over the other. The bond that has united the Jews for thousands of years and that unites them today is above all the democratic ideal of social justice, coupled with the ideal of mutual aid and tolerance among all men. Wow! If that's the case, if that's fucking true, then that's amazing. Social justice, the bond that's united the Jews for thousands of years is the democratic ideal, democracy of social justice. The democratic ideal of social justice, coupled with the ideal of mutual aid and tolerance among all men. Can that be? I love kind of all those things. I like the democracy, social justice, idea of mutual aid, tolerance among all men. Fantastic. Even the most ancient religious scriptures of the Jews are steeped in these social ideals. Social ideals which have powerfully affected Christianity and Mohammedanism, which is Islam, and have had a benign influence upon the social structure of a great part of mankind. The introduction of a weekly day of rest should be remembered here. A profound blessing to all mankind. Personalities such as Moses and Spinoza and Karl Marx, dissimilar as they may be, all lived and sacrificed themselves for the ideal of social justice. Yeah, I guess so. Moses was pretty righteous. I don't know much about Spinoza. Karl Marx, one of the most righteous motherfuckers ever. Yeah, there's a cool, badass fucking Jew. Karl Marx. Don't forget about Karl Marx. You got Harry Houdini, Karl Marx, the Fonz, Silverman, Larry David, John Stewart. Dissimilar as they may be, all lived and sacrificed themselves for the ideal of social justice. It was the tradition of their forefathers that led them on this thorny path. The unique accomplishments of the Jews in the field of philanthropy spring from the same source. Fantastic. The second characteristic trait of Jewish tradition is the high regard in which it holds every form of intellectual aspiration and spiritual effort. Because Jewish people vote Democratic 70 to 75% of the times, I feel like there is a cool, good quality about the culture of Judaism. And also, black folks vote Democratic 80 to 90% of the time, too. So that makes me like black folks, too. There is some good, there's lots of essential, good qualities in these groups, but there's something particular, that's special and awesome about Judaism, Jewish folks and black folks. The second characteristic trait of Jewish tradition is the high regard in which it holds every form of intellectual aspiration and spiritual effort. No kidding. Intellectual aspiration and spiritual effort. Okay? I'm convinced that this great respect for intellectual striving is solely responsible for the contributions that the Jews have made toward the progress of knowledge in the broadest sense of the term, in view of their relatively small number and the considerable external obstacles constantly placed in their way on all sides.